Welcome to Babies from Beyond, the podcast that gives all babies a voice, whether they are still in spirit or already earthside. I'm Lauren Dionysius, a former registered NICU nurse turned baby soul communicator, and I'm here to share the wisdom of today's babies to guide you on your motherhood journey. Okay, so this episode is for those of you who may be questioning your desire for more children. Perhaps you had decided somewhere along the line, wherever that may have come from, that you only wanted 2 children or you only wanted 3 children and that was it. And maybe you're at 1 child and you're feeling, I don't think I want any more. Or at 2 children and you're not sure about a 3rd and you have this feeling like, no, I'm done. I don't want to bring more children earthside. And sometimes what can happen is when we have these preconceived ideas or these plans for how many children we want to bring into the world and have this, it's like this number that we seem to pluck out of thin air. It may be based on your own family, or maybe you were one of 4 kids and that was too many, but you didn't want to be an only child, so you want more than 1 child. It's like we have these ways of creating these rules or these plans that often come from our own stuff, but also are not particularly based on anything on the soul level. Not to dismiss your desires or anything like that, but it's really interesting to find out where these rules, if you like, are coming from. And so today we're going to be talking about that sense that you may feel around, I don't want to have any more babies. Like, I feel like our family is complete. And this can be confusing for many women. And if you have 1 child and you're like, that's enough, then guilt can come up. Perhaps you never thought your child would be an only child, or you feel that they're missing out in some way. Or maybe you're feeling like you've got enough on your plate, like you don't want to take on more children for yourself or for them, and also for your existing child or children as well. So it's interesting to explore where these pressures come from you, from your partner, from your family, from society, in the bigger scheme of things as well. So I want to talk in this episode around that. And I will often work with women who feel complete. They're like, I just don't want any more. Like, the physical human me is full up. Like, my plate is full. I can't do this again. I can't have more children. And this can be even more confusing if you can feel another soul, another baby soul who you sense maybe wanting to come to you in this life. So that feeling of guilt, or like, I don't want to deny them a life. Do I just bring them through, or is it about honoring where you're at and your journey on this life as well? Because of course you have your own needs and your own desires. And I want to say, before we go any further, there's no right or wrong way around this. There's absolutely no judgment around this either. Every woman's journey is different. Every couple's journey is different. Every child's journey is different. And every family's journey as a collective dynamic is different as well. So it's not a one size fits all. It's not a simple yes, no answer for everybody. But what it is it is about exploring the journey of the souls who make up your family dynamic. And when we tune into these souls, when we ask your soul where you're at and what you need or what your soul has planned, we can gain some insight into your own journey as a woman, but also as a mother and your role there. We can also tune into, yes, your partner, of course, but we can also tune into the existing children you have, like the children or the child that you already have on earth, we underestimate their wisdom and their knowledge and their insights that they can have, because I'll often work with women who have one child and they feel like they're done, they don't want any more children, but they feel guilty. They feel this guilt around their child being an only child and what they feel they're going to miss out on in some way because of that. And there's other energies around that as well. But the beauty of this work is being able to tune into this child, this so-called only child, and find out about their journey and what they're here to learn, what they're here to experience, what they need. And again, there's no simple answer here. But what I have come to realize is for a lot of children who are so-called only children, it's their plan, it's their desire, it's their want for their journey in this life. And I remember, and this has happened on quite a few occasions now, where I've tuned into these souls and communicated with them, and they've shared, you know what, in other lives, I have been like one of 6 kids or one of 10 kids, and I feel not seen, not heard. I feel invisible and that I get lost in a big family. And yeah, there was times where it was nice to have people to play with or to talk to, but often what they're coming back to experience in this life is to find balance and healing around these wounds around invisibility and not feeling seen and not feeling heard. And one really powerful way for a soul to find healing or balance around that is to be born as an only child, to basically have the center of attention on them. And again, on the soul level, what more powerful way is there to reclaim that visibility in the world than to, from birth, being an only child? And so for many souls in this situation, that's the reason. There's nothing there on the soul level about missing out. There's often a sense of excitement or relief or thank God, you know, that I don't have to like hustle for everything and anyone. I can sit it out a bit more. I can have a very different kind of experience. I don't have to try so hard, or I don't have to crave attention or to miss out on some of my needs being met. And by saying this, I'm not by any way suggesting that having more than one child means that they're not going to be seen or heard or not have their needs being met. I'm not saying that at all. But again, it's about the individual soul and their journey and what they're here to work on, what they want to experience, and what they need for their journey ahead. So often when this information comes through, it can then bring a lot of comfort to the mother, to their mother, to the family, to the couple, their parents, about it's okay to trust that feeling of one child is enough. And I know I'm talking about only children here, but it's also the case with whether you stop at 2 or you stop at 3. There can be similar reasons for these children have been part of really big families before, and they don't want that. In saying that, there are children coming to the earth right now who do want to be a part of a big family. So it's all very, very individual, but the important thing here is that there's no regret. There's no resentment. There's no, oh my God, I'm missing out on something. And of course, that may come through the human experience as these children grow up and they see that other families have more children. That's fine, but that's on the human 3D level, right? On the social level. That's not on the soul level, if that makes sense. So that's one perspective around the theme of this episode around not wanting to have any more babies. I want to touch on now too, like I work with some women who may have 3 or 4 babies already, sometimes that many, sometimes more, sometimes less. And they can feel like this other soul around them and it feels strong, and maybe they dream about this child or they feel the energy of this child around them, like they're waiting to come. And again, it requires communicating with this soul and finding out why they're there. And I did talk about this in one of my earlier episodes, where just the presence of a baby soul around you it doesn't tell you much. You need to dive more into that. You need to ask more questions, because just one reason for a soul to be around you is their desire to come to the earth. Just because a soul is hovering around you doesn't mean they're expecting you to bring them through or that they want to come through. They could have a message for you. They could be planning a future life. They may be reminiscing over a past life. They may be learning more about the earth from their perspective. So we need to ask them, like, why are you here? Why are you around me? Do you need to come to earth in this time? Or are you just waiting, hovering, learning, all of these things that I've mentioned? And then once you have that information or those insights, then it can make your own journey clearer as well. Because doing this work, I've learned that souls are autonomous. We all have the ability and the right and the power to make a decision, and also to change our minds. You know, when we look into things like soul contracts and soul agreements, these contracts that were put in place before often we even came to earth, let alone our children, sometimes these contracts can be made void or can be cancelled. Sometimes they can, sometimes they can't. It depends on the contract. It depends on the journey and the karma and the lessons there. Sometimes that is what's going to play out, because on the soul level, that is what's for the highest good of all. But there are times where these soul agreements can be cancelled, can be nullified, if that's even a word. And sometimes part of our journey here on earth is having the power and the confidence and the autonomy to say no, like, one child is enough, 2 children is enough. I don't want any more. I know that I can feel you hovering around me, but I don't want to bring you earthside. Like, that's not what I want for my life. It's not how I want to parent. It's not how I want to spend my time. Like, whatever the energy around that is for you is not what's important. What is important is that desire, that clarity. So ask yourself, where is this coming from? Where is this desire coming from? Is it coming from a place of fear? Do you fear that you can't cope, or that you're struggling, or that you won't be able to handle it? Or is it coming from a place of, no, this is not what I want? And even though the answer may be the same here, the energy behind it is very different. And it's important to clarify that, because for me, there's this work and this journey and this way of communicating and navigating the world is through what's coming from the soul and what's coming from the human. Because that's how we make aligned decisions. If we make decisions based on our human self, which, you know, can come often, has an influence from the external world, that's when we can make decisions that are not aligned. Whereas when we make decisions that are aligned with our heart and our truth and our soul, that's when the journey flows, and that's when we can find our truth and we can follow our true path in a place of alignment. So your desire not to have any more babies, where is that coming from? Because if it's coming from a place of fear, like, oh, I can't do that, I can't cope, then that's often a human level. And that's not always the truth, right? We say we can't cope with something, but often that's because we haven't experienced it. So us as humans, when something is unknown or something is uncertain, we tend to fear it because we don't know. It's like, well, how can I possibly cope when I haven't experienced having 2 children, 3 children, 4 children, whatever it may be? But I'm sure when you speak to a lot of those women who've gone on to have more children, they find a way. So, and again, this is not about forcing anything, but it's about being clear with what's behind your decision. And this goes for any decision in life, is my belief and what I'm learning. It's like any decision that you need to make, what's behind that? Is it love or is it fear? And that's a really important distinction. But I digress a little bit, but coming back to the theme of this episode, if you don't want to have any more, then you also have the power, as I said, in most situations, to say no, to say to this child in spirit, I'm not willing to bring you to earth in this life. And in my experience, when this has happened, and I have worked with women that for whatever reason say, I don't want to have any more children. I feel like my family is complete. I don't want to bring any more to earth. And they have their own reasons around that. In my experience, like those souls in spirit, they respect that. You know, as souls, we are autonomous. So babies are autonomous in the same way they also get to choose whether they come to earth. We also get to make decisions as well. So the autonomy of the soul or the spirit is very powerful and, as I said, is deeply respected between souls. After all, you are the human here on the earth, boots on the ground, doing the things, and they honor that and they respect that. As I said, it's just in a handful of cases or a small proportion where there is a bigger picture at play that's beyond anything that you can understand on the human level. And that's where there will often be things like surprise pregnancies despite contraception or being really careful or things like that. In those situations, and an unplanned or unexpected pregnancy does come through, it's often like on a bigger soul level perspective. So just to recap today's episode, just to understand that the decision to not have any more children is absolutely valid. And the invitation there is to dive more into your own soul and your own human self, and as to where that comes from and what energy is driving that decision for you, as well as connecting with your own soul, tuning into your own heart, your own soul, and what is your soul here to do? What did it come to experience or not experience? And also any future children's souls as well. You know, if you decide not to bring a child that you can feel in your energy field through in this lifetime, often they will come through either in one of your future lives here on earth, or I've also seen them come through in the next generation. So coming through as your grandchildren, the children of your children who are earthside. So souls are very good, much better than us, at also changing their plans when the energies don't align. They're not here to force, and they're not here to overpower. They are here to honor the autonomy, and they're also willing and able to change plans, as they often try to teach us to do here on earth when things shift and things change, which is perfectly normal and expected in today's world. So I hope that episode helped. It's a little bit of a rabbit hole because there's no one right answer. It's very individual for the individual souls involved. But in my experience, it's all about what's for the highest good of everyone involved. That is essentially what all of this work, the whole journey of the soul, is what it comes down to. It's the journey of the individual soul. It's their place in the collective, whether that's in the family or in society. And it's what is going to be the highest good for all involved. Thank you for tuning in to Babies from Beyond. If you've enjoyed this episode, I'd love for you to leave me a review just wherever you listen to your podcasts. Also, head over to Instagram and give me a follow at Born Energy, and check out the show notes for more ways that you can connect with your baby's soul, including one-on-one readings and online programs to support you. Until next time, trust your journey and your baby. Take care.